In 2022, if you handed your boss a perfectly formatted research memo in an hour, you were a rock star. In 2026, that's just the baseline. It's expected. Because if you didn't do it, a script could have done it for you. We're living through the end of execution as we know it. I'm Josefina. I work with teams that ship products, deciding what gets built and what actually goes live. And every week, tools like Zora and Claude confront me with the same quiet question. What's the point of making this if AI could have made it for me? Here's the reality. When the effort to produce something drops towards zero, the market value of that effort follows it down with it. So you don't get credit for doing anymore. You get credit for deciding. The data is already screaming this at us. Entry-level job postings have dropped by nearly 40% compared to 2022. Some of that is macroeconomics for sure, but what's happening underneath is structural. We're watching the career ladder hollow out. Look at the work that's disappearing. The scaffolding, the boilerplate code, the research summaries, the first drafts of PRDs. This used to be the price of admission. It's how you learn the system, how you earn trust. Today, predictable execution is a commodity. And when something becomes a commodity, the market stops paying for the effort and just starts paying only for the outcome. So here's the part that nobody likes to say out loud. If you stop hiring juniors today, where do your seniors come from in 5 years? We're trading away the next generation of leaders for short-term efficiency. And if you're trying to build a career inside that gap, the way you work has to change now. So if the job isn't producing anymore, what is it? It's shaping. AI cannot know your specific reality. I call this the illusion of correctness. A model can write a flawless project update with perfect tone, perfect grammar, but it doesn't know your lead engineer is out on parental leave. It doesn't know that the client is already tensed after the last delay. AI has training data. Humans have memory. Memory knows what broke last time. And then there's also accountability. AI will give you an answer with absolute confidence, whether it's right or wrong. But when you hit send, your name's on it. Your credibility is attached. Confidence is cheap. Owning the outcome is the real cost. So how do you operate inside this new reality? You have to learn to fly over the gap. That means moving beyond using AI and starting to engineering it. So for instance, here's the pressure you're under. Your VP wants a competitive analysis by the end of the week. Your team is underwater. AI can draft something credible in 20 minutes, and the temptation is obvious. Generate, polish, forward it up. But if you do that, you've just shipped somebody else's assumptions with your credibility attached. And when strategy gets questioned, or worse, fails, the question won't be, why did this model say this? It'll be, why did you sign off on it? So what do you do instead? First, move from prompting to context engineering. Stop treating AI like a vending machine. I use a simple structure: role, objective, constraints. Role. Don't just ask for a writer. Ask for a cynical product lead who hates feature creep. That forces the model to reason, not just comply. Objective. Don't ask it to summarize. Ask it to identify 3 friction points that will delay our launch. And constraints, ground it in reality. What cannot change? Budget, timeline, audience, technical limits, zero budget, 30-second read, executive audience. This isn't about getting a better draft. It's about encoding the trade-offs you already know matter before the output ever exists. But here's the catch. Even a well-prompted model will happily say yes to everything. That's where the second move comes in. Second, the double pass verification loop. AI is a yes man. It wants to please you. So you have to earn your role by being the no. Pass 1 is the creative pass. You ask the model to draft a PRD for a new AI search feature. It comes back polished, coherent, complete. It looks done. Pass 2 is adversarial. You take that same document and ask, act as a skeptical lead engineer. Where's this spec too vague to build? Which 2 features are going to cause the most scope creep? Suddenly, the trade-offs appear. You might suggest a full feature set that technically works, even though you've already committed to a launch date that you cannot move. So the first pass saw the feature, and the second pass saw the cost. And this is the work. You're not outsourcing judgment, you're forcing it to surface before it becomes a meeting, a delay, or a quiet failure 3 months later. And third, stop writing prompts. Build prompt assets. Every time you start from a blank box, you're reteaching the model your reality. And that doesn't scale. I have a prompt that encodes my CEO's priorities: product velocity, capital efficiency, customer trust. Before I bring a roadmap proposal into a room, I run it through that lens. It pressure tests the argument before the politics begin. I have another one that behaves like our head of engineering. He knows our stack. He knows our deployment constraints. I use it to reality check timelines before I commit to them publicly. This is the shift. You're no longer just making things. You're designing systems that make decisions visible earlier, while there's still time to change them. So, could AI have generated a script like this one? Well, not by itself. It can synthesize labor market data. It can mirror arguments, but it cannot decide which of these ideas are worth standing behind, in your context, with your name attached. That decision, what to keep, what to cut, what to defend when things get uncomfortable, that's the work now. And this is pointing towards something bigger. Right now, you prompt, you swing the tool. But the next shift is already happening. AI agents, systems that don't wait for a single request, but take an objective, break it into tasks, execute, check themselves, and keep going. When that becomes normal, your job won't be reviewing a paragraph. It'll be waking up to decisions that progress overnight, or while you were out on a Christmas break, and deciding which ones you're willing to own. In 2026, execution is assumed. Output is cheap. What still carries weight is judgment, taste, exercise under constraint, in public, with real consequences. That's the end of execution, and it's the beginning of something harder. Standing behind decisions you didn't fully execute, but you're still accountable for. I'm Josefina. I'll see you in the next one.